yako. Aje nisalimiane hapa.
She started being ill. It's now almost a month, but she started with this hospital in Kakamega called Where. When she was admitted there, she was diagnosed having malaria. She was put on quinine, about 4 doses of quinine. She didn't improve. She was discharged and came back home at her home in Mukumu here. On the 3rd day, Madam was unable to wake up. Then later on, Julia herself rang me and called Mama, come on the ground. Things are not good. Left home, immediately came to Mukumu. Got her sleeping on her chair. Very restless, the body pale. At Oasis, the doctors attended to us very well. Then they took the specimens. They brought us the results. Acute liver damage, acute kidneys damage, acute spleen damage. And the doctor said, how can we treat, how can we save the life of Madam? They put her on dialysis. The first dialysis took 2 hours. The second dialysis took 3 hours. The third dialysis took 4 hours. Madam continued vomiting. She could not eat anything. The girl continued to be more and more sick. When we saw things getting worse, we appealed to the doctors that Julia better be referred. I want to appreciate the doctors of Oasis and the nurses. They helped us and we took the girl to Eldoret Lifecare Speciality Hospital. At Lifecare, the doctors surrounded the girl, but the problem with the girl was blood. When we were at Oasis, my child continued passing blood. We could think it is stool, but it was not stool. Blood with the full clots. She passed a lot of blood in form of clots, a lot, until the whole body became pale. But they kept on adding blood. They kept on adding blood. Where that blood was going, we don't know. Her fellow teachers from Kumu came in a great number to donate blood. They donated a lot of blood because the doctor asked me that where can we get blood? The blood we have is finished. So with the madam's cooperation, the principal, they gave them a van and they donated a lot of blood. So at that point, when it reached around 12, the girl began to give up. The girl gave up. The blood was being added, but the blood being added, so she just died. She succumbed.
Some 2 weeks before tulikuwa na yeye katika matanga and she was so well. Nikaenda kwa daktari kutaka kujua what the problem is. Daktari akaniambia test za kwanza zenye walifanya walipata acute spleen, enlargement of the spleen, enlargement of the kidney and enlargement of the liver. Nikauliza daktari causes ya hii enlargement ni nini? Daktari hakusema. Nikamuuliza tena, have you mmebainisha causes ambayo ina result into this? daktari hakuniambia, akaniambia wamefanya laboratory tests ambazo zimetumwa Lancet in South Africa, wanangoja majibu. At that point daktari anasema ati the only way, mtu mwenye alikuwa anamattend kwake alikuwa anaitwa, he's a physician, anaitwa Francis, Dr. Francis. Akasema the only way to save your sister's life ni kumpeleka dialysis, because at this stage kidneys hazifanyi, liver haifanyi. I became curious, nikamwambia, you see, we as a family demand to know ni nini imepelekea kidney kufail na liver kufail. Unaweza katu explainia before mpeleke kwa dialysis. What the doctor told me, quote and quote, ni kwamba if there is a problem, hata kama kutakuwa na alleged food poisoning or anything, that dialysis itakilin zote na itoe kabisa. So I said, okay, mnaweza endelea. So
every Kenyan has a right to a clean and healthy environment, and if that right is not guaranteed, then he or she is supposed to seek legal redress. So as a family, we are interested in giving our sister a befitting send-off, and those are the plans that we are currently involved in. As you can see, we are at Kakamega Referral Mortuary, where we come to do the documentation and ensure that everything is set. We just want to plead with the government to correct these acts of omissions and commissions that are at the school. And if it is true that the death of my sister has been brought forward through irresponsibility on the part of Board of Management, then let the government see how it can be corrected. Otherwise, we leave everything to God. It's all vanity, and we thank God for her life and hope that in future no teacher, no student should die because of acts of omissions or commissions in an educational institution. If it was malaria at Sheywe, a few hours later a test is done, the same test is done in Oasis and it's negative, then I don't trust that was malaria, because at Oasis the first test that was done was a test to detect if malaria was within the blood system. So I don't think that it was malaria. The whole thing here is about acute liver and kidney failure. So it is important that we address the causes of this organ failure. That is the big point. Concerning the legal action that the family is going to take, well, I cannot speak for the whole family. We are just at the mortuary and we're getting back to a family meeting. Then from the family meeting, we'll set the way forward. We also need to consult with the husband of our late sister who left this morning to go and make arrangements at his place. So we are consulting far and wide, and we'll see what action is necessary for this kind of event.